Hey everyone, welcome back into the 94.9 The Rock Zoom room. It's your pally Lucky. And you know what? Of all the things we've done over this pandemic here in the Zoom room and all the guests I've had a chance to talk to, my next guest is the one that garnered a whoa, that's cool, Dad, from my kids.
Ah,
It is Arkells frontman Max Kerman. How you doing, Max?
that's high praise. You've made it when the kids are on board too, right? You did every demographic.
Totally, you've got them, and you can get it. Has been on the like repeat playlist over and over again. Just absolutely love that song with K Play.
Well, what do you use the censored version around your children though? Like, because there is an
Uh,
F bomb in there.
Interesting. I do. I do.
Nice, I like that. Rock and roll
They're
parent.
they're 12 and 10, so they know
Okay,
the
I
word.
know it.
They know what it's supposed to be, and they just know they're not allowed to use it. But it's interesting actually because I think back to November of 2019, and I was racking my brain whether or not I think the kids were like 10 and 8, whether or not to take them to their first concert, and it would have been Arkells at the
Uh,
Tribute Community Center in Oshawa, and it was a school night. I think it was like a Thursday night.
Thursday. It was a
Um,
Thursday. Yeah.
it was, and I knew they were going to miss some school in the next couple of weeks, and I decided, you know what, we'll wait for another year or two. If I had only known then
Yeah.
that the world was going to shut down for 2 years and they wouldn't get a chance to see their favorite band until now, I guess it's one of my pandemic regrets or pre-pandemic, if you think about it.
Yeah, we've all been reevaluating the world, in the last little while. Being like, oh, how do I really want to spend my time? What are things I can't wait to do once the world opens up again? And so people have a lot of time to think about those decisions. But hopefully, one of those first big moves will be an Arkells concert in Toronto.
Well, I was going to say it's perfect timing because August 13th and 14th, we just announced it. Tickets will go on sale on Friday. Of course, if you're listening to The Rock, we'll have a chance for you to get them before they go on sale on Thursday afternoon. But you're back at it, Bud Stage, Toronto, and it seems like the perfect setting on a weekend to do the Arkells long weekend.
Yeah, we tried our best to not do any like virtual concerts. We hung out on Instagram Live and stuff like that, but we
Tons,
weren't
yeah.
really like selling tickets to like a concert because that's not really what a concert is. And I know there was a fair amount of drive-in shows and everybody's obviously just like making the best of the situation. But we were like, I don't want to play for a pile of cars. Like I was trying to wait till we can actually do something where there's a vibe in the room and we can like feel that connection between the stage and the crowd. And it's looking good. It's like when we've been conceiving of this idea for months, and we went into it even a few weeks ago thinking that it's like, if we can play to like a third of the crowd, but it's still at Bud Stage and it still is outside and it feels safe, that's great. But I guess because the vaccination rates are going up and the caseloads are going down and the hospital system isn't overwhelmed, they're bumping it up. And I think we're gonna be able to play to like 75% capacity at Bud Stage, which is still like 12,000 people a night, which is gonna feel amazing. It's gonna I forget the feeling, so I can't wait.
I was going to say, I mean, you had a lot of time, and I'm sure in the music scene, artists are going to be coming out with albums like crazy because they've likely been writing and practicing, maybe even recording throughout this if they could get together. But I'm just, how much have you been pining for live shows again?
A lot. Our record, we just announced it. It's called Blink Once. It comes out in September. We just bumped it up to September 22nd, actually. And a lot of that material, most of it was written kind of and recorded before COVID happened. And we
Okay.
were kind of finishing the record in February of 2020. And we were going to start to roll out those songs, starting with Years in the Making. And then the pandemic hit, and we're like, oh, we don't want to put out this music that's like kind of high energy and emotional and sweaty rock and roll when you can't go tour it. So we just put it aside. And then that's when we start to work on Campfire Chords, which is kind of acoustic music. We always try to figure out like which way is the wind blowing and how can we be a part of the world in like in a way that we kind of fit in and it feels honest and authentic. And that's why we kind of pivoted to that. But now with we kind of, okay, the world's gonna be opening up again. Let's get this record together and we can go and tour it. And they're just kind of like big old rock and roll songs.
How much do you like? Do you get the sense from the crowd, like the vibe that's going on? when you're in front of them? Because I mean, you've done stuff at the Bud stage with Campfire Chords. I've seen you record that. You guys have been doing a lot online and Instagram and trying to kind of get a sense of keeping in front of your audience. But now that you get in front of them, you know, how big is it to get that reaction from them?
You know, I think for our band, so much of the fun we have and what makes us unique is that we always have our eyes peeled. Like when we're playing a show, like, okay, what's going on? How can we interact? And you can't predict a lot of stuff, but you just have to keep your eyes open. You know, you never know when, you know, somebody's gonna be holding up a sign and that makes us change the song in the set list, or someone comes on stage and plays guitar with us, or we have a special guest. You know, we had Nick Nurse showed up.
Of course, yeah.
And it's like stuff happens when you're out there living in the real world, which you just can't get when you're like making, you know, TikToks on your phone or whatever, like, because that's a different type of creativity. But for us, I think like just being able to react to stuff happening is such a key part of who we are. And yeah, that's what I look forward to the most.
And do you do that? Will you change sets based on a sign that you see, or a couple that wants to get engaged on stage at the Mod Club, something like that?
Yeah, all the time. I mean, because sometimes people will have like kind of interesting ideas for us, where they might ask a question or present an idea, and I go, that's actually kind of interesting. Okay, how can we shift this and have it fit in what we're doing already and create a moment? Because you just want every moment to be special. You know, it's funny, I was looking at a photo this morning. Havaya Mighty, who's amazing, she's opening the shows. She's a great MC from Brampton. And I was looking at some videos. We played with her in Banff, Alberta, or I want to say it was Halloween 2019, and everybody was dressed up for Halloween because it's like a Halloween show. And there was a guy who came to the show who dressed up in a payphone outfit, like his head to toe, he looked like a payphone. Yeah. And so we brought him on stage for leather jacket. And he started to dance around, and then I scolded him. I was like, payphones don't dance around. Payphones have one job to do. That is to stand there. And so he like stood there while everybody was raging during leather jacket. And like that's just stuff that happens when you know you're taking notes.
What a dated concept, a payphone now, especially as a costume. But
your kids probably don't know what a payphone is.
No, not at all. They barely know what a phone on a cord would be now. But I'm wondering, you know, as the world moves forward out of this, and now, you know, we had things that we regret we didn't do before, and certainly maybe the bucket list has been collecting. Is there a bucket list show for Arkells, a place, a venue, or someone you'd like to have up with you?
Great question. I mean, any of it right now, I'll take. I'm not
right.
But I think, you know, as a music fan, there's a lot of stuff I can't wait to go see, right? There's just so many concerts that will be coming back. Like I love Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars have that song. And I was like, I'd like to go see them. Also just a big sports fan too. Like, you know, hopefully the Jays will be back in town. If you know, the Raptors and Leafs are going to have people in the stands, hopefully, you know, come the fall. So it's just like, I just can see like every night of the week, I want to be going out and doing something. And that'll be really nice.
Yeah. This time, you know, there's that meme, just buy the damn concert tickets. I think now, hopefully more than ever, people will do that. And Friday will be the day to do that. Bud stage again, back. It's called the Arkells Long Weekend. You've had to push shows, of course, and the rally has been one that we've been waiting for because it was so big the first time you did it, and we've had to wait. And I guess next year, still hoping for that.
Yeah, it's still ready to go. You know, that's our big hometown show in Hamilton. Most people held on to their tickets, which is really saying something. And yeah, we're very excited to be able to bring a big concert to Hamilton next year.
And how big are you going to go for Bud stage when you finally get a chance? Are we going to see pyro and behind you? And the horns are going to be there? Of course.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're doing rehearsals this week actually coming up. We have to relearn all these songs. So once I remember the lyrics to half the material, then we'll figure out where the fireworks go.
And I guess in some senses too, it's playing them for the first time, as you said, right? Because I mean, Campfire Chords, as great as it was, kind of acoustic, you haven't had a chance to really do it live and full blown.
No, I mean, Quitting You, years in the making. You Can Get It, All Roads. Nobody Gets. One thing I know, like all these songs, is like we've never played live before. So we just did a session though for Canada basketball. We filmed it up in Orangeville, and those were mostly new songs, and they came together really quick, which is usually a good sign. It's like if the material is strong, then usually it's like not a headache to play, just because everything kind of falls into place and everything was feeling really good.
Well, we're really looking forward to it, and of course, everyone looking forward to just getting back together and seeing live shows again. And couldn't think of a better way to get it all started at the Bud stage than Arkells. So looking so forward to it. Thanks for doing this, Max.
Yeah, thank you, Lucky. Really appreciate it.